This event here today is new for us here. We've been 9 months in the planning for it, meetings upon meetings, to make sure that everything runs smoothly for the drivers and the general public themselves. The track has caused us one or two small problems with lots of barriers moving around, but we're getting there, and all the drivers are really enjoying themselves.
Okay, it's interesting you say about the track moving around. This is a real high-intensity event, but that's kind of what you expect from an all-star event, right?
Oh, definitely. And I think the drivers hate it when the track's moving, but the punters love it. They want to see some on-track action. So for them, it's great to see the crashing and the bumps and the bangs. But for the racers, they just want it to be clean and clinical and easy win for them without track markings, because it's such a rhythm class, because it's so fast and intense. It has to be perfect, super smooth, all fixed down and professionally sorted.
Absolutely, and that puts a lot of pressure on you guys, obviously, as organisers and that. Just talk us through the track construction and how it's come through here. It's no pile carpet, it's a custom club structure. And obviously the big thing about it, it's in the middle of a shopping centre. The general public are never closer to RC racing than they are here. Just talk us through the reasoning behind that, rather than having it in a traditional venue.
The best way to reason that is to get the public as close as we can, rather than a normal venue. We started building here late Thursday night, cleaning the site up completely of any small bits of gritstone, laying the carpet, and then on to Friday morning till lunchtime to get it all laid out, ready to start at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon for the training, the practicing and qualifying for the drivers for the heats today.
And it was very thorough preparation, and having the general public involved, what sort of feel do you get from them, and what sort of reactions have you had from them so far as to have this sort of event right basically on their doorstep, if you will?
Well, for us, running the Reedy format means that every single race on track is a race. The normal process is qualifying and finals, which when the customers come and watch, they don't understand quite what's going on, so it's difficult for them to follow. So when you have head-to-head racing, which is the Reedy format, it's intense racing every time somebody watches from the outside, so they understand what's going on. On-track battles, not just the staggered start qualifying. It's a little bit confusing. So for us, it's a great promotional platform. It's more interesting for the customers to see. It showcases the product much better, and it's also more interesting for the racers that come here to entertain themselves as well as the public, to have head-to-head racing every time. It's unique. It's a format of racing which has kind of been pioneered by the legendary Mike Reedy, which is hence the name. It's called the Reedy format. It's a Reedy Racer Champions, and it's deemed as one of the highest class forms of racing and the highest or the best, most accredited championship that you can actually go and win. It's, elements of luck, elements of skill, tactician. It's all encompassing, which is brilliant.
It feels to me kind of like RC racing's version of the Masters, if you will. Is that the kind of vibe you're going for with these sort of events?
Yes, most certainly. Luckily, the teams have sent their top drivers from all over the world, and they're entertaining the public. If you look around you, you can see them all, the young children smiling. We've got children here from 8 years of age to 80, and they're all going away with smiles. This is what the event's about, getting closer to the people, but the top drivers having a great event to race at.
It really is, I think it's achieved it immensely. It's got a great vibe to it. Now, just talk us briefly about the qualification procedure. Of course, you've got the two classes out here this weekend, the open format where people apply to be here and then qualify in, and then, of course, the invitationals, the Reedy class themselves, the All-Stars. Just talk us a little bit through the qualifying criteria, just how good do you have to be to get into that invitational class?
Well, it speaks for itself. Invitational is the world's best drivers here to showcase what they do and what they're paid to do. Some paid professionals that come here and are purely racers, professional paid racers. There's only a handful of them, but there's a lot of people that put a lot of time and effort into the hobby, into the sport, also with the BRCA and the organisation. It's difficult to see when you just see this, what actually goes into it, not just from the organisational side, but also the preparation side from the drivers. It's mentally draining, it's not physically challenged, but it's difficult with the preparation side. Hours and hours of meticulous preparation. So it's the best guys, and then when they're on track, there may be friends in the pits, but once they're on track, it's down to business. Like every form of racing that you see.
And one thing I have noticed a lot is the camaraderie in the pits, and these are factory teams. Normally in motorsport, when you have the factory teams together, the rivalry is very bitter. They don't want to give anything away to anyone else. But over here, the camaraderie is it feels special. It feels like a really unique event. And to be honest, to kind of conclude, if you will, that the pressure and the meticulousness, just how satisfying is it to come out with such an event like this, considering that normally you know, with the Masters or like the Race of Champions, for example, in full-scale racing, there's a lot of pressure on to live up to the name. You know, Race of Champions, they have got to be champions. They're top guys in their craft. How much pressure does that put you guys under? And how nice is the vindication when you see the reactions of the general public and of the drivers themselves?
For us, it's great vindication. For a lot of the drivers going smiling. As I said, it's taken 9 months organising and a lot of hard work by a group of people who are a set team. As you know, the BRCA can run World Championships, EFRA Championships, but this is like the icing on the cake. You're very lot closer to the public and the drivers enjoying themselves. So for us, it's a win-win.
Absolutely. Anything to add?
No, I think it's great for the drivers to actually participate in something like this because it is different from the norm, so it feels special. And the BRCA behind it has put on such a great event, which they always do. It's very professional, and so from the outside it looks professional, from the inside